Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So from today onwards we are starting a new series on SQL where we will discuss little bit advanced SQL questions which are mostly asked in these farm companies. And today we are starting this series with a very exciting and good problem which is related to active users retention. So guys, retention is the heartbeat of every product. And today we will crack the SQL puzzle that these companies, basically fund companies, love to ask to the candidate during interviews. So guys, we all understand that active users today are great. That's okay that today we have so many active users. But how many come back from last week, last 20 days, last month, last 2 months? That is more important for any big companies who wants to scale. And that's a $1 million question that we will be answering today with the help of SQL. So the question here is that find the percent of users who logged in today and also logged in exactly 7 days ago. So here the question is not that during last 7 days, it's exactly 7 days ago. There can be another variation of the same problem. Find the percentage of users who logged in today and also during last 7 days. So my intention or agenda for this type of problem is also that when you are solving one problem, that should unlock at least 5 to 10 different types of other variations of the same problem. Now, similarly, you can be asked that how find the percentage of users who logged in today and also logged in uh, for last 20 days or 30 days. So there can be many variations of the same problem. So whenever you are solving one problem, understand it. What can be the different possible ways in questions can be asked. And here we will be mostly using aggregation, inner join, date filter, and CTE, common table expression. So this is the table that we are having: user ID, login date. The name of the table is login events, and two columns. User ID is integer, login date is date of the login events, and there is no constraint on uniqueness. That means duplicate logins are possible. This is the sample data that we will be using to write a SQL query and see how we are getting the data. So there are five different user IDs. User ID 1 is appearing two times. They have logged in on today, and they have also logged in exactly 7 days before, which is 26th of April. Similarly, if you see user ID 2, he is logged in today itself, but there is no data which can show that user ID 2 has also logged in 7 days back, which is 26th April. Similarly, user ID 3 has logged in on 26th of April, but there is no data showing that they have logged in today also. However, if you see user ID 4, they have logged in today, and they have also logged in on 26th of April. Similarly, user ID 5 has only logged today. So from the data you can see that there are two users, user 1 and user 4, which are who are appearing in both the dates, today and also 26th of April. So basically we want the user in the final output. So that's a understanding level we have right now, that we want these users when we write our SQL query. So here we have refined that particular question from general question to this particular sample data. What percentage of users who logged on 3rd of May, that is today, they also logged on 26th of April, 7 days ago. Now what's the approach that we will be using for this? We will be using CTE. We will write 3 CTE to solve this particular question. And one CTE we will write to find today users, who are the users who are active today, that is on 3rd of May. This is how we will write select distinct users. We are using distinct because there can be a scenario where a user is logging more than once. He may be logging twice, thrice, or 4 times, 5 times. So our idea here is not to add all those numbers. We just wanted the distinct users who have logged in today. CTE2. Here we will find distinct. Again, here we are using distinct for the very same reason we have been using in CTE1, where login date is today minus 7. So here we will only get those distinct users who have logged in 7 days ago. Retained user. Now we want the intersection of these two users who have logged in today and also on 7 days ago. For this we will use inner join. We can also use intersection operator for combining these two, but here we are using inner join. I will encourage you to ask or explore on your own how intersection will work. And if you have any doubt with regards to intersection, ask in the comment section. We can discuss that also. Then finally, we will be calculating the retention percentage, and this will be the formula that how we will be calculating the retention percentage. Total count multiplied by 100 and count the today users wrapped in a round for clean output. So let's see. With today users as select distinct user ID from login events where login date is 3rd of May. This CT is giving me the distinct user who have logged in today. And see, this is where we have written the login date today. For 7 days ago, similar query, select distinct user ID from login events where login date is 26th of April. Now the question has been that we want to find those users who have logged in today and also during last 7 days. Then we would have changed this like where login date is between 3rd of May and 26th of April. But here question is simply who have logged in today and also on 26th of April. Then we will find the intersection of these two or the combination of these two using third CTE, where we will be using inner join retained user as select user ID from today users, this is T, inner join 7 days ago users, the name we are giving it as alias S, on user ID is the uh, common column on which we are joining these two CTE1 and CTE2. Now you can very well understand why we are using inner join and not left join, because we want those users who are basically appearing in both these tables, both these CTE today, also 7 days ago. And this is the final formula that we will be using to find the retention percentage. So this is select round count r dot user ID. So we are getting this user ID from R table, basically from the retained user. This is the city which we are using, divided by select count star from today users. I hope you understand the formula what we are using here. Round we are using here so that we get the clean output here. It may be by default clean, but just to be sure that we are getting the final output as a very clean output and not random number of decimals places, we are rounding of this number to 2. I hope this formula is very much clear to you. I don't see there is any scope of confusion. If you have, you can ask in the comments. So let me give a try and walkthrough of the points that I have discussed. Today user, these are the today users who have logged in today. Then CTE2 who have logged on 7 days ago, 1, 3 and 4. And using inner join, we are finding only the matching records which are appearing in both these tables or both these CTE, and these are 1 and 4. So 1 and 4 have logged in on today and also 7 days ago. So this is my CT3 retained users. And finally, I am calculating the percentage using this count retained divided by count who logged in today. And that's how I'm able to find the number. This is the 50% is the number retention percentage that I'm getting. There are a few edge cases and follow-up questions which may be asked to you during the interview, and there can be many other variations. This is just an example, and with this example I am trying to set up a basically a playground where you can understand how this question, how one question can uh, follow another question. So for example, you can be asked, however, in the example that we have discussed, there will not be much difference if we use distinct or don't use distinct, because each user is only login once a day. But in case one user is login more than once a day, then using distinct is a absolute must. So that is essential. No users today. So there can be a scenario where we don't have any user who have logged in today. So to avoid the error in such a cases, because if you see today users equal to 0, so that will throw a error if we execute this query. So in such a scenario, we can use this count star divided by null if. So if it's 0, we will get null. That is basically the meaning, and you will finally get null in the output instead of error. Follow up and is retention, as I mentioned at the start of the problem, that we can have any window, any time frame where we can be asked this question. Replace 7 with n to support any cohort window, 1 day, 30 day, 90 day, 6 months, whatever. Similarly, we can use a get date function where instead of having hard coding of today's date, so today we are asking this question, this can be 3rd May, but when we are writing the code in our system, we are not writing or we are not changing the today's date every day. There what we will use get date function. And also we need to use cast outside, because we want because date this get date will give you date and time, but you only want to compare it with the date. That's why cast is essential, and you will basically use it as cast this get date as date, so that you only get today's date. So now we will try to see the same problem using SQL Management Studio. I have created one table, same table basically. So as I do always, this is the table that I have created. There are two columns. Similarly, this is the insertion part, and when I'm selecting all the columns, I'm getting this. This is exactly the same that I was describing to you in the presentation. Now I will start writing the query. I have already written this, so to save the time, with today users as, this is the CT number 1. With this we are finding the distinct user who logged in today. So this is simple, where login date is 3rd of May. Second CT 7 days ago users. So this is the name of the city that I have given. So you should provide the name of the city in such a way that you get the clarity when you are trying to correlate these different city in the final query, so that you are clear that today users, this particular city is giving today users, this particular city is giving distinct user active 7 days ago. Here again we have hard coded this date, but again when we are writing these type of codes in our production, we generally use get date function. Finally, retained users as CTE3. Here it is the intersection of both groups. As I mentioned at the start, we can also use intersection operators. However, here we are using inner join. I encourage you to try intersection on your own. In case you get any issue, any doubt solving using intersection, please ask in the comment section. We will discuss that also. Finally, this is the final formula that we are using. Retained divided by today multiplied by 100, and we are using round function comma 2, so that we only want to have the 2 decimal places. R dot user IDs, retained user is given as a alias as a R, and we are dividing it select count star from today users as retention percentage. So guys, if you execute this query, you are getting retention percentage as 50%. I hope the problem was a little bit difficult, but I have summarized in such a way that you might find it very simple. But you should practice such type of question on your own. I have solved one problem here. I encourage you to solve few different type of problem having same variation, like user who logged in today and also logged in during last 10 days, 15 days, so that you get the crux of the concept in a more with more clarity. I've also written the same query using get date function, so that when we are actually writing these type of codes in our production, there we can't hard code the date, because we might be interested that a CXO level person is daily opening the dashboard and seeing that how many users are there who are active today and also during last 7 days. There he will not change the date every time that today it's whatever date today is, he will not change that. So get date is a function. Uh, get date is basically used to find the today's date. This will provide the today's date and time also. But here we are comparing it with login date. That's why we are using cast, so that cast can make it a date only. We are not interested in time here. Similarly, login date, we are using date add -7. So this is basically 7 days ago from today's date. And again we are using inner join. Again I have also written here null if, so that you get the crux that we can use null if also, so that errors can be avoided in the production. So whenever you are solving any question for interview purpose, also try to understand that if such type of problems some senior executive from a company is using, how will that consider. Here it's a very simple table, but in practical there are millions of records, and there might be a scenario where no user has logged in today. What will happen that we need to ensure that our system should not throw error. We can handle null easily rather than handling that error. So this is the scenario. And lastly, one more thing I told you, that there can be a scenario where we want we can set it for n, whatever time window it may be. So we can simply write here as n minus n. We replace the hard coded 7 with the parameter n. So again here if you write -7, you will get the same output. Because for today's date I have just used this get date function, because I can't hard code any date, because it's just a question for practice we are doing. We can do that, but in general when we are writing these codes in our production system, we can't use today's date, like writing 3rd May. That's not feasible. However, if you replace it -7 with -6, you will get 0, because there was no user who logged in exactly 6 days before ago. Yes, you will get 0. So that way you can solve one question and try to see different variation of that particular question from different thinking, from different ways. That will make you interview ready, and that will help you solving real practical problems also. So I hope you find this video useful. If you find this video useful, please like, share, subscribe, and also share with your network who can be benefited from this series. Also please share your feedbacks, your comments, that how can we make these videos more useful for you. And if there is anything we need to work out on these videos, feel free to ask in the comment section. Share your feedback in the comment section. So now we will meet you in the next video. Thank you friends.